This is really awkward. Like, I feel like I haven't sat and like chatted to a camera, my phone camera. Let's be modest, let's be humble. I haven't done this in such a long time, so it feels weird to just try this out again. But anyways, hello to all the new faces and all the familiar faces. Today I'm filming a get to know me because there are quite a few new people, a lot of new faces, you know what I mean? Well, I can't actually see your faces, but you get the idea. Anyways, I thought it'd be fun to film like a little get to know me, but like book edition, because at the heart of this channel is my love for literature and books. So it's kind of important that you get to know me through that passion and that love, I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna be answering 10 questions. Let's get started. The first question, I put this in here just so I could talk about this book, but it's what is my favorite book of all time, or my favorite books of all time. And of course, if you know me, you know I'm going to mention Legendborn. Like, there's just no way around this. Legendborn and Bloodmark by Tracy Deonn. Let me just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful and divine these covers are. Just absolutely stunning. Like, come on. Just like a little brief synopsis. If you've never heard of these books, or you haven't had the pleasure of hearing me rant about them for an excessive amount of time. They basically are an Arthurian retelling. They follow our main character, Bree Matthews, whose mother has recently just died, and who's also just gotten accepted into a prestigious like high school program on the UNC Chapel Hill campus. The story is kind of based on Bree's attempt to find out what has really occurred in her mother's death, like whether it was an accident, as the police report states, or whether there's something more to it. And upon witnessing a magical attack on campus, on her first night there, she realizes that there's something very fishy going on. So she does some digging and finds a secret society that her mom may and may not have involvement with, and decides to infiltrate it to find out what happened the night her mother died. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Bree is a beautiful Black woman, but this secret society is very much not diverse, and her infiltration really is disruptive to the flow of things. And just seeing how Tracy Deonn kind of deals with the conversation of race, class, gender, and is also dealing with a very intricate plot, and is doing the work of retelling Arthur's legend. Like, it's honestly incredible. The magic system, impeccable. The characters, divine. I just can't rave about it enough. Y'all have to go pick this up if you haven't read it. Please, please. Okay, if you care about me, if you care about literature, like this book, come on, come on. Okay, next question, so that I'm not spending 3-4 minutes on each question. What television series best describes your reading taste? Again, I asked this and I really had to start thinking about it, because I was thinking of what I like in books, and I feel like this is a very trope-based kind of question, at least for me. When I think of my like top favorite shows, they all take place, or predominantly take place, in small towns. Pretty Little Liars, Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, or they are like centered around like very kind of Black community. So Moesha, A Different World, Sister Sister. So it's one or the other, and I feel like in describing my taste, it really is one of those two things. Just the close proximity, the kind of eeriness of small towns, the grittiness of like relationships. I absolutely love it. So I look for that in the books that I read. Okay, next question. What skill would you like to learn? I really want to learn how to knit. And this is kind of random, but a lot of times when I'm listening to audiobooks, it's while I'm like doing stuff. Like if I have to walk to class or like wash dishes or something, and I don't want to stop listening to a book or stop reading, I will put on the audio version of whatever I'm reading. So I feel like to just do, because I really like audiobooks as well, I feel like knitting and just listening to an audiobook is just such a perfect kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Imagine myself in the summer sitting on like a lawn chair, knitting and listening to an audiobook, drinking a cup of tea. I feel like that really ages me. Like, that makes me sound like an old woman. And I think I am at heart, but like, tell me that that's not amazing. You just can't. Okay, sorry if the camera has moved ever so slightly. What book made you love learning? When I was younger, I really hated reading. But what got me into reading were in fact Wattpad books. And I just remember after school, I would just log onto my account and I would just read like for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, which was really unusual for someone who just didn't like books. Like I didn't like reading. And then to find that kind of love and like almost obsession in Wattpad was just, it was experiential. Books like Float, still so good. Like I reread it over the summer, so good. And a couple other books out there. Okay, what genre won't you read? I won't read horror at all. So like Stephen King novels are a no for me. I just don't like being scared. I don't like that kind of anxiety. Like obviously with reading there are types of anxieties that you have. That one I don't want. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I don't want to feel like someone's about to come for me. It's unnecessary in my opinion. I don't need that. In terms of like tropes that I just give me the ick, and I made like a whole TikTok about this, and I found so much solace in the fact that other people could relate to this, and it's just like intergalactic space related anything. I just don't like it. I don't know what it is. I honestly have no idea why it gives me the ick. It's kind of irrational, but I just, the minute it's in space, I'm just like, no. And I accidentally bought like 2 books from a series, not knowing that it was like space related, because it wasn't explicit in the summary. It kind of just mentioned different worlds, which that I can do. Like, come on, fantasy, like I can do that. But space, absolutely not. What do you want to see more in books? I have a long list, guys. First of all, deckled edges. I don't know why. That's so satisfying for me. I love a good deckled edge book. More paperbacks, because why are paperbacks not being published first? Personally, I don't really like hardcovers. I get them if I'm really desperate to get a book, but then I'll just have sets of books like Legendborn and Bloodmarked. I have both in hard copy, but I also have Legendborn in paperback. And when Bloodmark comes back out in paperback, I will also have it. So, like, I don't really need hardcovers, but sometimes they're the only ones available. And then just something I feel like I need to see in books, just like in general, is better communication. Because you're telling me that people really can't convey simple sentences to fix their problems. I struggle to believe it. I mean, maybe people's lives are like this, but I just refuse to tolerate that level of miscommunication in my own life, because what's the reason? What book changed your life? I know it's cliche, I know it is, but it's my holy Bible. Come on. Also, I was raving about this. I got a new Bible. It's ESV. It's so cute and small, and it's so pretty. Like, just, this book changed my life. But like in terms of like books that actually genuinely are transformative, the Holy Bible is transformative for my life. If you don't know, I am Christian. I grew up in the church, and I am persevering it through my faith with my lovely faith community. And that book is the center of my heart. So it had to make, and it had more than an honorable mention, it had to make an appearance in this video. The next question, pick an album for a book that you really like. Every so often I'm reading a book and I'm listening to a song and I think to myself, this is the soundtrack for this book. I remember I was reading a Rebecca Crane book. I think it was The Upside of Falling Down I was reading, and I was listening to like Genevieve Stokes, and I was baffled by how much that like one of her albums just correlated with the book. So I would say really anything Genevieve Stokes, to be honest, and like Rebecca Crane could really fit together, just because like the vibes are there. This is my last question, and a question that I have always thought about, and if you were a book, what genre would you be? And I'm genuinely curious, like if you guys were a book, what genre do you think you would be? I feel like there's 2 ways to answer this, like based on your life and like based on what genre that you would want to be. And I think based off of my life, like in terms of genre, tropey, definitely like academic, like a, I don't want to say dark academia because there's no murders happening in my life, thank God. But like light academia maybe, because I'm always like at school, always studying, as you know from my vlogs. Like school is my life sometimes, so I feel like that's like reality. But in terms of something that I would like prefer, I think like a something that would be cool, like a coastal summery kind of like romance. I think that would be really cute. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is so random. I literally just spent like 20 minutes talking about myself, and I hopefully you guys got book recommendations out of this, because I hope you know that when I mention books, I'm also recommending them. So if you do pick any of these up, let me know your thoughts. I'm always curious to know how people feel about the books I recommend. Sometimes, Eunice, you don't like them. Not me recommending The Lovely Reckless to one of my best friends and she didn't like it. It's okay. It's fine. But like, I'm curious. So if you do read any of these, let me know your thoughts, because I do want to know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you with another video very soon.